Hello and welcome back to the course on MetaTrader 4. I hope you enjoyed the previous tutorial and now you should be a bit more comfortable with what indicators are and the whole theory behind how they're calculated. And today we're going to add our very first indicator to a MetaTrader 4 chart. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's select a chart. I might choose this one over here. And we're going to add an indicator. And the indicator we're going to add is actually going to be the same one that we talked about in the previous tutorial, the average true range. So let's find this indicator. There are many ways you can add an indicator to a chart, and one of them is to go to the navigator and look at this indicators folder. And here you will have a list of indicators, and also you will have a list of subfolders. So this is a new feature starting from one of the more recent builds of MetaTrader 4, where some of the indicators have actually been grouped into folders. Now, the one we're looking for is under oscillators, and it's the top one here, average true range. So let's take the average true range and drag it onto the chart. And what happens right away is you get a window where you can specify the parameters. So we're already quite familiar with these parameter windows, but for indicators, they might be a little bit different. All right, so we have the parameters tab, we've got the levels tab, and we've got the visualization tab. Now, we're going to start with the parameters tab. Period is going to be 14, just as in the example in the previous tutorial. At the end of the tutorial, we had an example of period 14. We're going to use the same color, Dodger blue, and here we're going to select the most thickest line because that will allow us to see the indicator better. And we're not going to change these minimums and maximums, and we're just going to click OK. So right away, we've got the indicator. It has appeared at the bottom over here. And what it's telling us, so I'm just going to select the auto scroll so we can scroll through the chart. And what it's telling us is the average true range for these bars over here that we see. And basically, because we specified a period of 14, it is telling us the average true range for the past 14 bars. So here you can see that the bars are quite small, so the bodies of the bars are not big at all, and that in turn means that the average true range is also quite small. So here you can see that it's a 0.0008 approximately there. So that's the average true range for the past 14 bars. So as discussed in the previous tutorial, the average true range here is, let's say on the average true range here, which is 0.0009, is the average of the true ranges for the past 14 bars preceding that bar that we're looking at. Here you can see that the average range is quite high, and that is because we had some big bars over here when this upward movement was happening. So if we look at this, you can see that average range varies. Sometimes it's lower, sometimes it's higher. So what other insights can we see from here? If we zoom out, you might see like a bit of periodicity in the average true range. It goes up and down, up and down. And why do you think that that would be? Why is there such a cyclical phenomenon that we are observing? Well, the answer is probably because of the different times of the day. So if you look at this time here, it's around 1:30 p.m. according to server time, and then the downtime is around 8 a.m. Then here it's around 1:30, and downtime is 8 a.m. And again, here we have, so we have 1:30, and then we have a spike in average true range here, meaning that something happened on the market. Like, you can already drive insights, right? So this is not normal. Normally, before at 5 o'clock, the average true range was lower. So there was lower, and now it is higher. So something was going on in the market at that point in time. And then it's back to its usual, right? So, oh no, here again, here something was going on there again. So you can observe the different market movements and the behavior of your currency pair. And this is the British pound Swiss franc currency pair. So both are European currencies. If you take a currency pair where there's a Japanese yen or say the US dollar, then you might see different patterns because the times for those currency pairs, or the times when they are predominantly traded, are a bit different. So that's one of the use cases. But what we're focusing on here is how to add these indicators to your charts. So that was the average true range. I will show you a couple more indicators in the next tutorial, but that's all for now. So for now, what you could do is just experiment with this average true range period. So for instance, try changing it to, let's say, doubling it, 28. So you're taking more bars into your average. as you can see, it smoothens out. So there we go. Have a look at that. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, happy trading.